Time to close out this saga. Hey everyone, welcome to Prince of the Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with my blind reaction to episodes 5 and 6 of Knuckles. Yes, we're doing the last two episodes together. The reason for such is just timing based. Originally I was thinking probably I wasn't going to do this, but I decided, what I want to replace this is coming out, and this just works best with the timing. So we're going to finish this out today and move on to the new show next week. And as a reminder, just as a note, Friday is not cutting down, in case that wasn't clear before. While I've cut back on a lot of other days, Friday is still going to be a big recording day. So Friday's still going to have two reactions, and I'm not cutting it down to one like I have with other days. Just wanted to let you know that, just in case that wasn't entirely clear. That being said, at least for now. So, this series has been fantastic. Despite what the haters say, I just don't understand why they're saying it, because I've been enjoying the shit out of this. And I think that people are trying to act like Sonic is serious normally, and that this series is too silly and ridiculous, and it's like, Sonic is not a serious property. It's not meant to be a serious property. It never has been one. It's always been this silly and goofy. And I've already talked myself to death about the entire Wade situation that people complain about. So I just don't get it. But last time we basically had Wade coming into his own and finally becoming a warrior. So now we have the final two episodes, and this means that we have basically two big confrontations. We have the leader of these bad guys, who kind of were in the first half of the season, but really kind of disappeared after being defeated. So we have the leader who had been built up after that. He's going to come into play and be using the technology that utilizes Knuckles' power. And we're also going to be having to confront Wade's father at the bowling tournament in Reno. Both of these are going to be big deals, I feel. Both of them are going to really highlight this finale, and we're going to see how Wade and Knuckles have to work together, maybe with some others around them, in order to face both of these goals. And it's going to be really cool to see. And to see, especially come the end of this year, how this connects into Sonic 3. Because that's definitely something to figure out. How is Knuckles' growth going to be shown in the third movie? And how much of Wade are we going to get in the third movie after this as well? Showcasing his growth too. But that's an issue for another time. We can figure that out when that movie comes. For the time being, let's focus on this. And I think that there's not really much else to do besides get into it. But before we do, I do want to remind you all that we have a lot of great content to check out on the channel. Every Monday through Friday, we have a plethora of awesome series reactions. And on Monday, we also do YouTube reactions. Or at least YouTube adjacent. Anything that doesn't quite fit into a normal series or movie reaction kind of goes there. From shorts to specials to one-offs, even like mini-series that just don't have enough episodes to really count as a full series reaction. Anything like that goes in that slot. And speaking of movie reactions, though, we do have 2 of those each week. We have movie reactions on Saturday and Sunday. They're recorded earlier in the week, but uploaded on the weekends. If there's ever a case where we might have only 1 movie a week, or there's even none for whatever reason, I will let you know ahead of time. But for most of the time, it's going to be 2 a week every week. That being said, we also have some Let's Plays we're currently going through on the channel. We're doing Spider-Man 2 every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Really been enjoying that. If you're just new getting into it, though, the first 9 parts, especially 5 through 9, have a little bit of audio issues. Nothing major, though the syncing is a bit off. You should still be able to watch and enjoy it nonetheless. It's just going to, be off in that regard. Parts 10 and on, though, should be all good. From that point on, I believe I got it all figured out. I got it all fixed. Keep in mind, this has been my first capture card Let's Play. My first time doing a Let's Play off the PS5 since I got it. So, it's a new thing to me. That being said, we're also playing through Anno Mutationum on Saturdays. This is a reward Let's Play for Matthew Vasquez. And if you want to know how to engage in reward Let's Plays, if you want to know how to donate for that, all you have to do is check out some videos on the channel titled PS5 Game Reward Month. There should be 2 of those videos, and you should be able to find them easily. Just do a search on the channel, and it should be all good. That being said, though, let's just get into the reaction and see what these final 2 episodes of Knuckles have in store for us. So, when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction because, yes, we do redirect all reactions on this channel. You know how YouTube's copyright system is. It's kind of shit, if we're being honest. So because of that, I've decided just to stay safe, we're going to push all of the reactions onto another website. I know you don't want to have to do all these extra clicks just to watch the reaction. It's annoying, but it keeps the channel safe and keeps these reactions coming. Otherwise, we would possibly have to deal with copyright strikes, or even worse, the channel getting terminated. I've unfortunately had to deal with that before, and it is not fun. I just don't want to deal with it again. That being said, on the plus side, because of this, every single one of you gets to see the full unedited reaction completely free. No paywalls, no Patreon. You don't even have to sync up your own copy. All you have to do is go to that link in the description below, click it, and you get the entire thing completely free. And after you watch it, you can come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after fades black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will not only contain spoilers to the episodes in this case, but just my general thoughts on the series, on the show, the characters, as well as maybe some other stuff involving the channel and whatnot. And in this case, a little note of what's going to replace this. It's always worth checking out, but it's completely up to you, as always, if you want to. Just letting you know. That being said, thank you so much, as always, for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. Just gonna reiterate what I've been saying. I don't understand how anyone could dislike this series. This is absolutely fantastic in every way. It's such a great series that fully captures the spirit of the live-action Sonic movies, both of the first 2, and presumably the third coming up as well. It gives us great character work with both Wade and Knuckles, and has some fun action, some great victories, and just a lot of awesome content just in general. And I can already see some people are probably going to complain, oh, the final battle was finished way too quickly. Or already have complained, mind you. no, they defeated the main bad guy too easily. It's like, this wasn't about that. This was never about that. This series is about Knuckles and Wade's growth. About how Knuckles goes from being a aggressive warrior space echidna with no concept or semblance of understanding of how Earth works and not really a connection to much of anything on Earth. And it goes to him learning about this planet, its people, its customs, and beginning to bond with all of that and find a home. Because we know Sonic and Tails had already found a home here on Earth. This had already become a place they could call home. But Knuckles, at the start of this series, wasn't like that. Like, yeah, he's sitting there enjoying Cool Ranch Doritos and stuff, defending the house from perceived invaders or whatever you want to call it. But he doesn't really feel at home here. In fact, when he has that talk with Sonic, it's very clear, like, this isn't a home to him. Again, he hasn't connected with the people. He hasn't learned to understand the customs. He hasn't even really given them a chance. So, seeing throughout this series his connection to Wade and Wade's own growth helps him grow. It allows him to see that things can be different. It allows him to see that things can evolve over time, that he should give things a chance. He also forms these bonds with Wade's mother and sister, learning to respect and care for them as well. It creates this sense of development that really needed to happen with Knuckles. Because it just really wasn't a thing in the second movie, and it didn't have a chance to be. You saw at the very end when they were playing baseball, he was like having fun and hanging out with them, but like he had fun winning, and you know, there's ice cream and stuff, and he's hoping there's grapes in the ice cream. But it's not really him truly finding a home here yet. And that's what this series accomplished. It allowed him to actually face that true growth as a character and become acclimated to the planet, which is going to help when it comes to the third movie. It's going to allow him to feel more at home with the core cast. Because Tails connects with Sonic and the rest of the family easily. That's very obvious. But Knuckles is very different. So they had to have this series to allow that to come into place so it would feel natural that he'd be with them from here on out. And I think that this was an excellent way to do it. On the same side, we have Wade, who goes from being this kind of cowardly, goofy, ridiculous, officer in Green Hill, and he learns to stand up for himself through this series. He learns to fight his own battles and to fight for those close to him, and becomes a better person through it. His growth is all about, while Knuckles' growth is about a warrior becoming a person, Wade's is kind of the opposite. A person becoming a warrior. He's having to learn how to come into his own in a way to be able to fight these battles in a way that he hasn't been able to before. And I think that's really smart. It's really smart to have these two characters as our main duo, having kind of reversed developments throughout this. And in a weird way, it kind of reminds me of Avatar in that way. Like, you know how in Avatar The Last Airbender, Aang's journey is a person learning to become the Avatar. While then you have The Legend of Korra, the sequel series, where Korra's journey is about an exceptional avatar learning to become a person, a better person. Their journeys mirror each other in like, you know, a mirror image, how it's reversed. It is it is a great way to handle that, and that's one of the reasons I really love Korra, because it's the opposite journey that Aang takes, but it's just as valid of one. And in this series, you get to see both of those kind of journeys with Wade and Knuckles, just again in a different context and all. Um, the humor in this series was great. It was so funny. Like there were some lines in here in just these last two episodes that were just so good. Like calling bowling poor man's baseball was fucking hilarious to me. Um and just some of the acting as well is just really good for the comedy. Carrie Elwes has always been fantastic with comedy. If you've never seen Princess Bride, what is wrong with you? Go watch it. Princess Bride is an absolute classic, has phenomenal comedy, and it's probably Carrie Elwes's most famous and best role. It's like he is known for that probably above anything else he's done, and he's done quite a bit. But definitely check that out. There's a lot of other amazing actors in it, like Billy Crystal, and I can't think of the actor's name right now, but the actor who plays Prince Humperdinck in it is also the speaking voice for Jack Skellington in Nightmare Before Christmas. So that's fun. But like Andre the Giant is in it, Wallace Shawn, so many great names. Um, but yeah, it's like if you haven't seen that, somehow go watch it. Carrie Ellis is amazing, and he was amazing in this. Like he's great at being a pompous, sleazy asshole. He is good at that. He can play the good guy, the bad guy, kind of whatever you need him to be. So it was great seeing him in this. I think everyone did a great job. The actors who played the mom and sister were fantastic. Um, you also had the bad guys, Kid Cudi, as one of the bad guys. He did a great job. The girl who played the other one, I don't know the actress's name, but she was great. I also love that little monologue she had about like why she hated Gunn and everything. That was pretty interesting, if nothing else, and very well acted. The main villain, as minor as he honestly was, but again, he wasn't the point of things anyway. He was just like a conflict to throw in for the fun action stuff. Um, he did a great job too. I think I heard the actor was in Game of Thrones or something. I only saw like the first season of that, so yeah. I don't recognize him if he even was in season one. But this was just an absolute blast. The soundtrack was amazing too, by the way. The soundtrack was so good. Um, I think that this was an absolute success as a series. And it gets me even more hyped for Sonic 3 coming out this year. I hope we get an actual trailer for that soon. Because like we've had like some teases and stuff. But I want like an actual full trailer. Whether or not we even hear like Keanu as Shadow in the trailer or not, it is like not really a big deal. I just want a trailer. I also want to know if we're going to get any other Sonic characters in it, because we know we're getting Shadow. It's very, very heavily implied. Not really. I don't think it's actually fully confirmed, but I think it's like excessively implied we're getting Maria. Um, and there's possible possible implication that we might be getting Rouge, at least from what I've heard, based on casting and stuff that they've announced. I would love Rouge to be in it. Amy too, honestly, but I don't think we're gonna get too many. But we've got to get someone else, right? it can't just be Shadow, I feel. And Rouge would make sense, I feel. After introducing Knuckles and with introducing Shadow, I feel like Rouge would be a logical choice. Though introducing Amy after both Rouge and Shadow would also be kind of weird, I feel. Because Amy's like a notable character. But would they introduce three of them in the same movie? I mean, they've already said they plan to do more movies. So they're going to bring in other characters. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to plan to do with this. But I'm hoping we get a trailer either way. I'm very excited for that. This series just increased my hype for it, like, so much more. And hopefully it continues to be just an absolute win in terms of video game adaptations and whatnot. The Sonic series, franchise, whatever you want to call it, in terms of these live action adaptations, has been just hit after hit. If I were to rank this series compared to the two movies, I would put it between 1 and 2. The second movie is still the best one of these three adaptive pieces of media. I would say the Knuckles series is better than the first movie, not by a lot, but it is. The first movie's great. So it being at the bottom of this list so far is not an insult to the movie at all. It's just, I think the Knuckles series is a little bit better. Of course, I also have a bias that I just really like Knuckles as a character. But it's like, yeah, I would say the Sonic 2 is at the top, then Knuckles, then Sonic 1. And who knows where Sonic 3 is going to end up placing. If it continues with the path it's been going on and is, better than the second movie, then obviously it'll take the top spot, which is hopeful, but you never know. That being said, I think we should probably announce now what is going to replace Knuckles on the schedule. Like I said in the pre-thoughts, we are replacing it. Fridays are going to remain 2 shows. That's how I want to do it. We're going to keep that up. So Friday is going to remain as 2 shows, so that means Knuckles needs a replacement series. And I mentioned in the pre-thoughts that the timing worked out for something that was releasing. If you've been paying attention to the world of animation lately, you know what's coming. And I think it's not really necessary to, build it up that much more. Knuckles is going to be replaced by Season 2 of My Adventures with Superman. You may be wondering, and I'll talk more about this in the in the first reaction to that next week, but just as a note, you may be wondering why I'm choosing to get to this right away as it comes out. Because I really enjoyed Season 1. I really enjoyed Season 1. I thought it was a great, fresh take on Superman that really just worked in every way. It felt modern, but it still felt like classic Superman. And I think it was handled probably the best it could have been. And the tease at the end of Season 1 got me really excited, and I've been just waiting for the next season since. There's other things I could have gotten to, yes, and there's other things I want to get to, and I will in the future. But the timing worked out in a way to where it's like, oh yeah, I finish the series today, I can get to My Adventures with Superman next week. I am all good for that. I am, ready for that. I believe the first episode actually airs this weekend. I think it airs on Saturday. So technically we're going to be getting to it almost a week late, but there's not really too much we can do about that. I'm going to try and avoid spoilers as best as I can, of course. I'm going to do my best and avoid anything that looks like it's talking about the series. So hopefully we should remain spoiler free going into the first episode. And I'm just excited. Now, I will say real quick, I have seen the trailer. There was a trailer released. It's short. There's not much to it, but it does reveal a couple things. It reveals one character who's coming in and reveals something new about a character who's already been in there. I will not say what those are, just in case you haven't seen the trailer. But I will say I do know about those things. Though the new information about the character who's already in the series is not a surprise. Pretty much everyone already guessed it. So, but I'll still keep it spoiler free here. But we'll talk more about all of that kind of stuff when we get to the first episode next week. That being said, I want to hear your thoughts on this series. Let me know what you thought of Knuckles down in the comments below. And before we leave this off, I want to remind you all once again that we have an awesome array of great content to check out on this channel. Every Monday through Friday, we have a plethora of great series reactions. On Mondays, we also do YouTube or YouTube adjacent reactions, basically anything that doesn't quite fit into a full series or movie. And speaking of, we do movie reactions every Saturday and Sunday. They're recorded early in the week, uploaded on the weekends. We're currently going through 2 separate Let's Plays on the channel. Every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday, we're playing through Spider-Man 2. Every Saturday, we're playing through Anno Mutationum. Anno Mutationum is a donation reward Let's Play for Matthew Vasquez. If you wish to know how to donate for Let's Plays, check out the videos titled PS5 Game Reward Month. There's 2 of them on the channel, and you can just search on the channel very easily to find them. That all being said, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed these reactions, and I hope you enjoy what's to come. For the time being, though, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.